Hello, everyone. Good afternoon from Pakistan, and good morning and good evening to all who are in different time zones. Thank you for joining me for this webinar brought to you by Kaizen Analytics LLP. This is our 10th free webinar, and the topic which we are covering today is basic time intelligence in Power BI. So, this is Mohammed Kashif. Just a couple of things before we get started with actual content of the webinar. We have already emailed the database file to all the participants who have registered with us. For those who didn't register with us, simply shoot us a request or just email us. We would love to share the participant material, which is the database file, presentation, and Power BI file. And we have leave the email is address is given in the description of the webinar as well for your convenience. It is also in the display as well. You must have some questions, so do leave them in the chat and my team will try to answer them on the spot, or just simply email us and we would love to respond to you shortly. So a simple introduction of myself. I'm a member of Institute of Cost and Management Accountants of Pakistan. I've almost worked in every field which is relevant to finance, from bookkeeping to corporate finance, in financial feasibility, modeling, financial modeling, data analytics, data visualization, business process analysis, capacity building in much more detail as well. For instance, training need assessment, development of curriculum, delivery of training, post-training activities, on-job training, and much more. I'm also a founder of Kaizen Analytics LLP. It is a limited liability partnership firm registered with SCP. Our core areas are business consultancy, projects, and capacity building, and we are focused on emerging technologies like business intelligence, blockchain, advanced analytics, and much more. Our service portfolio is now focused on two areas. First, we focus on capacity building, and this is not just training, but helping professionals implement the learning of training program in their professional activities and reporting, automate their current very time-consuming activities, and just free themselves for much to help in decision making. And secondly, we are focused on data-driven decision-making process projects, which are primarily in Power BI, so that business can make informed decisions using the data to stay ahead of the curve. Let's focus on the today's webinar. This is it divided into three parts. First section is a little bit about time intelligence analysis. Then we will work on hands-on on some of the basic time intelligence analysis in Power BI, and the third one is the way forward. So time intelligence analysis. So what is a time intelligence analysis? It's time intelligence analysis enable you to manipulate data, what kind of data you have, using the time period, such as it can be day, month, quarter, year, and create calculations over those time periods, different calculations. So I'll give you some example of one of the calculations. Normally we tend to do a comparison with budget to see our performance, but we can do comparison with other elements as well. For instance, we are now in the month of August. So let's take 2 years, 2021, which is the current year, and 2020, which is last year. Let's break down into months. So 12 months of 2020 and these 8 months of our current 2021. If we want to do the analysis of current month sales or expenses, or say other figures, for instance, which are right now over here in the month of August, so we can definitely do a comparison exactly in the last 12 months, which is in the August 2020, which is over here. So this we can do this analysis, and we can compare ourselves how we are performing if we compare our this August expenses, sales or other things with our expenses of the month of August in 2021. And this is one of this will also take into consideration if we have any seasonal variation. This type of comparison is normally known as last period analysis, and there are other element of last period analysis as well. For instance, there is last day analysis, last month analysis, last quarter analysis, and in this example which we are taking, this is the last year analysis. So similarly, we are in the month of August 2021. So let's take a second example. So we are in the month of August 2021. This is over here. So we can use the accumulated figure of, say, total sales, expenses, and other factors, which is normally known as, if we are comparing it in a month on a period of an year, so it is year-to-date analysis, and we can compare it with the accumulated figure of the same period of the last year. So we can compare it how we are performing this year and how we are performing last year. So it is an accumulated figure. It's not the standalone figure of, say, August, but it is accumulated figure which starts from Jan and will end it in August. So it's an accumulated figure. So this kind of an analysis is known as to-date analysis. So one of the example is an year-to-date analysis. There are other type of analysis as well, which is month-to-date, quarter-to-date, or year-to-date analysis. Year-to-date analysis, which is over here, it refers to a period from the beginning of the current year to a specified date before the end of that year. In other words, year-to-date is based on the number of days from the beginning of the calendar year, which is normally known as fiscal year, up till a specified date. So this is just another way of doing time intelligence analysis. So there are quite a number of time intelligence analysis, but I'm just giving you two examples just to give you an idea how time intelligence analysis works. And they are quite frequently used in business nowadays. In time intelligence analysis, if we are using the tool of Power BI, so there is a very important element which is automatically turned on as far as our work is concerned, which is in current file data load, the time intelligence auto time date and time is automatically turned on, and it is enabled by default. It built a date hierarchy, and once I will go in the actual practical example of Power BI, I'll show you that date hierarchy. It enables you to slice and dice the data according to 4 parameters: day, month, quarter, and year, and this is very useful. One technical aspect which we should be aware before conducting time intelligence analysis is the prerequisite of using the time intelligence analysis. So the first one is never use the date time column from the fact table. So this is an important factor. This is first one. Don't use the date column of the fact table. It can be sales, it can be expenses. Don't use that fact table. Create a separate calendar table, date table with continuous dates, all the dates without missing any dates. So always use that one. Create a proper relationship between fact table and calendar table, and use the column from the calendar table, not from the fact table. And the minimum last granularity or in the table should be day. So if you are creating your own table, it should be day. It shouldn't be month or quarter. It should be day, because you can create your own table. So in our example, we will definitely create a table from an M language, and that code will definitely be shared to all the participants. So that was quite a very basic intro of time intelligence. What is a time intelligence? And let's jump to the demo of how we can do time intelligence in Power BI, and let's analyze the key pillars of Power BI and how this webinar, we can rate this webinar as far as our level of the key pillars of Power BI is concerned. Data transformation, definitely we won't be doing anything about data transformation. Data modeling, will do data modeling in a much beginning level, but as far as DAX function and visualization is concerned, definitely will go at an intermediate level. So how you can download the desktop free version of Power BI, the link was emailed and it is also given over there. So let's move to the Power BI and let's review the data set. So let's review a simple data set. This is a data set which is a simple data set of around 4 years, and we have channel, employee ID, customer ID, region ID, product ID, and we have unit price, total sales, unit cost, quantity. So it is a transaction level data. We have the regions, we have the product, we have the customer, we have the salesperson as well. So let's import them in Power BI. So this is a Power BI, it's a blank version of Power BI. So we'll start our working in Power BI right now. Let's import the file. I will import the file from here. This is the file. So let's import a file. So we are using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the 5 tables which we'll be using. So I'll go on transform load because we will be doing some transformation activity, very minimum one. And the second thing is we will create a comprehensive date table. So as far as these tables are concerned, I'll just change the names. This 1, 2, 3, 4 is not good, so I'll just change the name. So I will go over here and change the name. I will go in sales, the sales one, I'll change the name. Okay, so the next important thing which I will do, I will create a date table, comprehensive date table, and this code, this complete M language code is distributed to all participants. So who have registered in this webinar, so they have received this code. So I will create a date table in Power Query. I will go in new source, blank query, and advanced editor, and I will copy this code, Control A, Control C, delete the code, Control V, and that's it. So our data starts from 14, I think. Let's see from where our data is starting. So our data is starting from June 14, and it is ending in November 17. Oh no, sure. So 14 June, 1st June. So we'll start with 1st June 14. 1st June 14, and let's end it on 17th. So it is ending on 17th November. So let's end it on December, 31st December 17, financial year 1 in Vogue, and our date table is created. So I will delete it to rename it as date. So once it is renamed as date, yes, so it is named as date. Yet, yes. So once it is named as date, I'll go here, close and apply. So now it is closing and applying, and they will show over here in a while all the tables. Good. So let's save this file as well. Save as this one. So I'll say it as final. Okay, good. So now we have this one. So as far as data modeling is concerned, let's go over there. Because it is a simple data, so let's see whether Power BI has detected the model in a right way. Normally it tends to do the same way. It tends to do in a right way. So let's just see if it has detected the tables in a right way. So these are the lookup tables which we have at the top. All the lookup tables, we have sales. It is a simple analogy. We have a sales table right below. So this is customer ID is with customer ID, region ID with regional ID, product ID with product ID, and salesperson ID with salesperson ID. Great. So all the relationships are correctly detected. Now this date with this date ID. So now we have all the tables are now connected in a right way. So this is all one-to-many relationships. Great. So our data modeling is complete. I've said that in Power BI, which is over here in options, in data load, time intelligence, auto date and time is automatically, by default, it is turned on. So let's do our analysis. Okay. So let's first name this one as basic time intelligence. Basic time intelligence analysis. Okay, let's make this one 28, black, bold, and I think we are good to go. This one. Yes, we are good to go as far as our working is concerned. So in our working, we have a few elements. For instance, we have sales amount, cost amount. So we can do certain calculations. So let's do some basic calculations and then we'll move to the next part. So let's go over here and let's create a table and let's do a calculation and see if these calculations are properly done. So I will go over here and place the date hierarchy over here. So I'll just go with dates. So our first, let me just change the type to much more simple one, which is this one is good. And let's do first a few calculations. In the home, I'll go in enter data and I will name it as basic calculations, right? Let's do first few calculations. Our as far as our data is concerned, the sales table, we have total sales. It is the amount which is multiplying this quantity order with unit price. So we have this amount in total, but we don't have the total cost amount over here. We have the unit cost and order quantity over here. So if we just aggregate this column, we can get the total sales amount, but we can't get the amount of total cost. We aggregate them. So we'll have to just multiply the quantities and orders to make this happen. So we'll start with an easy one. So I will go for total sales first. So let's make it a bigger one. Yes, good. So total sales is equal to sum total sales. So this is just aggregation of a column of total sales. And we'll just analyze it if it is working, and let's analyze it over here. So total sales amount is working. I'll delete this one from the model. Yes, so we're good to go. So first calculation is done. Now the cost calculation. For cost, we'll use not the simple sum, but an iterating function, which is the sum x function. So total cost is equal to sum x. We'll give it a table name, sales. And now we'll go for the expression. The expression is order quantity multiplied by unit cost. because we want to go row by row. So iterating function like sum x, average x tend to do this thing. So it will first multiply row by row and then add all the values. So we'll have the total cost. So let's see if we are doing the calculation for total cost. So we have the total cost now. The other calculations are quite simple one. Where is total profit? So let's see for the total profit. Total profit is simple total sales minus total cost. So I will add this in a table. Let's see if this calculation is yes. And we can have the profit margin as well. So let's have the profit margin. And let's do divide function. Numerator is total profit and denominator is total sales. So we have the total sales over here as well. Definitely, and it is in points. So let's just make it in percentage. And let's add just one value of percentage over here. Yeah, that's good. And we can also do one more calculation, which is the quantity sold. So let's have the value of quantity sold. So I will quantity sold. So this is, I will just sum the order quantity column, just sum the order quantity column, and we'll have the figure of quantity sold. So if I can go over here, okay, I can go with this one. So quantity sold is also here. So we have quantity sold with us. Right, and this is, so we have quantity sold with us as well. Great. So this is kind of a very basic calculation, and we haven't touched the time intelligence function as yet, but we'll do it right now. So this is one thing, and let's just for time intelligence calculation, let's add another table and let's do a time intelligence calculation. So I'll just go over here and name it as time intelligence calculation, and I will load it. And let's start with a simple one. Okay, so first, this is time intelligence. So I'll just start with some basic one. I'll start with an easy one which I like the most, which is say sales last year. So if I want to go back 1 year, I can use a very simple same period last year can also be used, but the data function is very important, and it gives you flexibility for you can go back 1 to 3 years if you want to go. So I will explain it. So I will use a calculate function and I will use total sales. So calculate total sales. Now the filter, in filter you will have to add data, and here you can give the column of date. And now this is an important part. What is the interval? So I want to go back -1, and what is the interval type? So it can be day, month, quarter, and year. So you can go back 1 year, 1 quarter, and even last day as well. So I'll explain it. So this is last year and we are going back just 1 year. So I will just show you over here how you can, and you can, I'm just using it in sales. You can use it in cost, profit, margin, quantities, whatever you like. So this is total sale last year. So our data is starting from 1st January 2014. So, and this is 108. So if I will go back, go forward up till 1st June 2015. Yeah. So now I'm comparing the last year, which is 1st June 2014 data with the current year, which is 2015 data. So it is 108 compared with 110. So our sales are increased. So this is just an example of how you can use the analogy of last year. And there are certain other things which you can use. For instance, last day as well, last quarter, last month, same. So if you are doing the analysis for last day, so it will, this 108 will show against this 2nd of June. So last month it will show in 1st July, and last quarter it will show in the first day of next quarter. So same way, same manner. So we will use this one, and last month, last day, and last quarter analysis is left up to you. You can just analyze it using your own working. But I will just move to the next part of our working, which is because um, we can use certain analysis. I will keep myself focused on last year analysis. So this is sales last year, and we can also do profit last year. So I'll just go over here and delete this in the model. Delete this empty column, column number 1. It will pop up over here. So it is not deleted. Let me just see. Yes, it is deleted, and now it is over here. So this is sales. So I will go for profit, profit margin, and quantity. So I will go for the next one is profit. So I will go for profit last year. Same calculate function and total profit. And I will go back with date add function in date table, date column. I will go back -1, and I will go in years. So why I'm using this function of last year, and how I really want to use it. So it can be used as a benchmark, and it can be used in a KPI. So I will use a simple KPI, which is over here. So so that we can show that how we can use it. So let's have the KPIs over here, and yeah, this is a KPI. The KPI is an amazing feature, is an amazing visual, and there are two prerequisites. First is the indicator, and second is the trend analysis. So we will have to do the trend analysis in order to do uh, the trend axis should be placed in the KPI card. So I will first, let's go for the sales. So I'll just pick the sales from here, paste it over here. So this is a sales, and it is not showing you any figure unless you place a trend over here. So I will place a trend of months. So now it is showing you a figure of sales, total sales, but how you can compare it. So the sales of last year is important, and if last year is there, so you will have to give it a meaningful context as well. So because as a cumulated amount is concerned, both will be same. But if you don't place the context of an year, so it won't give you a meaningful information. So let's place a slicer of an year over here, because it is important. So otherwise it will give you same figure. So let's place it over here, and let's make them item. let's make them dark and dark black, and also we will change into not a drop down, let's just make it horizontally. Okay, good. So this is, so now we have say 16, 17, 18 or 19, we have certain years. So let's focus on 2016. So this is the amount of sales, and if I can go over here and click over here, so you can see that the figure is 15.59. But let me just go with this one. So total sales by month, which is the last month sale. So let's have the other figures as well over here. So we have, say, I'll go over here and I will place this last year figure in the target. So in the last year, so this is the figure of last year sale, and this is the figure of this year sale. So as compared to last year, this year we are doing 6.13% higher. We are higher as far as we are concerned. If we are sitting in the month of 2016, so 2015 was not good as far as 2016 is concerned. So let me just delete this one from here, so it is too much clutter. Okay, so this is, and we can change certain other elements from here. For instance, this is giving you the figure of last year, but goals are written over here. So we can change this one in goals. We can say it that it is sales last year, not the goal. So now it is sales last year and it is in black. That's good. And we can change the title as well. So this is sales. I can name it as current year versus last year, just to make it much more simple one. And let's make it dark. Let's have this one. So now it is giving you 2 or 3 information in just a click of a button. So here there is no definitely figure as far as last year is concerned. So here we have a figure of current year and last year. Here we have figure of current year and last year, so it is not good, but this one is good. So this is how you can use the figure of last year to give the comparison, and you can analyze it how you are performing. So we have, say, sales of last year, so we can also go for the profits. So I will go in the profit and I will go for, this is total profit. I will go for months over here, and I will, in the goals, I will place this one. So now our profits are also on the higher side, but let's just change certain elements. For instance, as far as the title is concerned, so this is profit current year versus last year, and I will make it middle line. Okay, this one. So now we have 2 useful information in our dashboard. And definitely we can go for profit margin and quantity sold. So let's go for profit margin and quantity sold. So I'll just go for profit margin and quantity sold over here. So profit margin will go for the first. So this is profit. Let's give it name of profit percentage last year. It's this one, and last year. And let's do calculate profit margin, date add, and go in dates -1 and years. And I will go for one more measure, which is the quantity sold last year. So quantity sold last year, which is, I will use the same calculate, and I will use quantity sold and data at function, date table with date column, -1 and year. So I have used both analogies, which is profit and quantity sold. So I will use the KPI card over here, and let's have the KPI card with first with profit margin. So this is profit margin in current year. So I'll place the hierarchy over here. So it is 37%. Let's see this profit margin, whether it is in, yeah, it is in decimal. So I'll just go over here and make it in percentage, and I'll make it 1 decimal. 1 decimal is good. Yes, good. Profit percentage is not good. Amount is good. So profit margin, and I will go for current year versus last year. Make it background as similar as we are using, and yes, we are good to go as far as this one is concerned. Okay, good. So this one was our third, and we'll use the last one, which is the quantity sold. So we can compare our quantity sold as well. So let's have it in KPI card, and let's see the quantity sold this year, and let's add the months from here, and let's add the quantity sold last year, and yes, and we'll go for the title. So quantity sold current year versus last year. Let's make it middle line, and definitely background will be, yeah, great. So that's good, and let's just add them over here. So as far as quantity sold is concerned and other elements are concerned, we are not good, but the profits are good. So this gives you a good visual information whether you're performing well. So as compared to 2014, 2015 is good as far as profit margin is concerned. Quantity sold as concerned, yes, they haven't sold much of a quantity. Profit and sales amount is also less, but 2017 sales amount and profit is higher, but margin is low and quantity sold is also low. So 2017 definitely there's no, as far as figure is concerned, no current year figure. So it is just taking all the figures for the goals, which is the last year figures. So to the good comparison is from here we don't have the last year figure, so it is infinity. So good comparison is 2014, 15 and 16. Yes. So this is one simple KPI card. This looks like a bigger one, so let's just make them this indicator. Let's make them a smaller one. Let's make it 30. Yeah, it is. I think 35 is good. Yes, 35 looks good. 45 looks much more bigger. So let's make it 35. And let's make this 35 as well. Yes, good. So this was one of the type of analysis, and we can do other analysis as well. For instance, we can compare it over a period of time. So let's start with quantity sold. So I will start with the line chart, and line chart is kind of an important one if you are doing an analysis over a period of time. So the first one is a line chart. So I'll just go with a line chart, and let's compare the profit margin this year with the profit margin last year on quarterly basis. So I will place the quarter from here. in x-axis. Okay, so this is a quarter, and yeah, this one is good. 16 is good because here you don't have the figure, but here you have the figure for all the years. But this is, it is showing you certain things, but it is mixing up quite a number of things. So I'll just make it much more cleaner. I'll go over here. Legends are good. Let's make it darker, and let's make it top center. So this is good. X-axis, yes. Let's make it. I think I won't need the title is not there x-axis, but let's make this one darker. Yeah, quantities. And other thing is y-axis. Well, we are well aware that this is percentage, so let's don't use this one. Let's use the data bars instead. So I'll just first let me just delete this title, yes, and then remove it. Yes, so it is I have a space, and I can go in data colors. So for colors, it's important to use same. For instance, if you're using the dark blue for current year, so I'll use this one for current year, this darker one, and this lighter one for the previous year, and I will make it similar throughout the dashboard. So this one for this type of analysis. So let's have last is this one. So I will make it separate it again. So in shapes, I'll just go for we can customize the shape as well. So customize series, I'll go for profit margin. I won't go it in much more detail, but in last year I will change it to not solid but a dash one. So it is a dash one, right? And I can use the data labels. So data labels are there, and we can use the data labels in a much more darker color at the top. I think let's have them above. That's good. And let's, there is shapes as well. So we can use the shapes as well. So we can use different shapes. For instance, over here, we are using the round one. So this one is, I think, yes. So this is a round and this is a solid. So I'll just use the shape of, it is different and this is different. Okay, yes. So plot area, background, shapes, and how we can make it a different one over here. So let's see if we can add one more thing to this one. I think there is something in shapes. So this is round, solid, customize, 3 strokes, marker, which is a marker. Okay, these are the markers. Yes. So we can use different markers. So this one is for, so let's take let's take this one as in the previous year, and let's take for the marker of this one, let's take the marker, a separate marker, and let's take a marker of this one. Yes, so you can use different markers as well. And as far as title is concerned, let's give it a title. So profit margin, current year versus last year. So I'll just change this one. And this is profit margin, current year versus last year. So let's make it background, simple background. And let's make it this one. Okay, yes. Good. So this is how you can change it for a marker, and we'll change it to different markers over here. So we have used quarters, and we have here it is a cumulative figure, but here it is a quarter wise figure for 2016. So you can see that in the first quarter the profit margin is good, but it has dropped in the next 2 quarters. So it is last year quarter was good as compared to this year quarter. So the difference can be minimum, but definitely it's a dip. And let's use the same thing, Control C and V, for our other analysis. Control C and V, and here we have 2 or 3 analysis. So let's use the same format over here. Okay, so for here we have used the profit margin. So for here we will use we can use quantity sold. So let's use quantity sold. So I will delete both of them, and quantity sold and quantity sold last year. So let's see. As far as colors are concerned, quantity sold this year and quantity sold. Okay, so this is last year should be lighter one. So we will use a lighter one over here as well. Use of color is important. So we'll use same colors. So this year and last year should be same one. And we'll use the same analogy in shapes. I won't change customize. Let's change this one. Yes, this one is markers. So we have used the marker for our, yeah, this was the marker for the current, and let's change it to last year. So here solid dash and marker, this one we have used a, yes, so it is same. And let's change the names title. So this is quantity sold, and other things remains the same. Quantity sold is thing which we want to change. This is QTY. One. Yes, good. So it is quantity sold. And one more thing which can just reduce the space as well. It is quarter 1, 2, 3, 4. So don't write quarter 1 if you are doing the same one. If it is just stacked over each other, so you can just delete this one and you can have much more space. So it is quarter 1, it is quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4, because quarter 1 is written over here. So it will reduce the space as well. Okay, so we can go over here and we can go for the total sales, the amount of sales. So I'll just change this one to amount of sales and sales last year. And let's see with color coding. So total sales is, yes, so let's use darker one for total sales, lighter for the last year sales, right? So this one is good. As far as we'll change the shapes. For our customized total sales, this is good. Markers will change certain markers. For instance, we have used this one, but in our working for the, yes, last year we have used the dashed line, and markers we have changed the marker to this one. Yes, and last thing is we have reduced this one. Yes, so now we can see that, as let's change the name as well, because this is not profit. Let's change the name and let's do a simple analysis. So this is total sales, right? So let's simply do the comparison. As far as margin is concerned, margin was good in quarter 1, but the quantity sold, margin was not good in quarter 1. This is the darker one which is over here. So this year margin was not good as far as the quarter 1 has started as compared to last one, but the amount of sale and the quantity sold is higher, but the margin has dropped as compared to last year in the same quarter. So it dropped the increase, but the quantity sold has dropped, and also the sales amount has dropped. So the margin has increased, and then the margin has dropped, but the quantity sold and amounts has increased. So this is just, it's a demo data set, so therefore it's not giving you there are certain things in the data, but if you're using the same data set, or you're using the data set from your organization, so it will give you certain things or certain things to analyze. Let's do top 5 analysis in a different way. For instance, top 5 analysis is can be done in a much more effective way in a cluster bar chart, which is over here. So let's do a top 5 analysis for we'll do the analysis for product first, and then with salesperson, because our model is well connected. So let's do a top 5 analysis over here with first for the sales for this one. So this is sales, and we want to see which are our good products. I'll place a product over here. So now it is giving you all products, right? It is giving you all products. So how you can differentiate it? It's a very simple thing. You go in the filter, product name. So now you can do a top analysis. So it can be top 5, it can be bottom 5. I will go for top 5. So I'll place 5, and now what is the value for which I can analyze it? So I can analyze it by using different values which are over here. So I will analyze it with total sales. And once I apply the filter, it will give me the total sales of product. And it's completely, it changed for 2016, 15, but the products are same, definitely. So, but 2016 is kind of, if it has a complete last year of 2015 and complete this year as well, 2016. So it gives you a good analysis. So product 26 is top in, yes, it is not top in 2015, 14, but 15 it's top, 16 is top, and 17 it's top. So 2016, this is the product, but it is giving you a figure. So I'll give the figure over here. So let me just click on this one, and in data labels, I'll give you the figures. So you have the figures. Let's make it a darker one. But let's do something else. For instance, this is a data color, right? So you have already done with the top 5 analysis of sales, top 5 products with respect to sales. So this is top 5 products as far as the amount of sale is concerned. So you can also do some cross analysis. For instance, you can do an analysis with sales margin, with quantity sold, with other things. So let's do a cross analysis with sales margin as far as the colors are concerned. So I'll go for function, and I will not place it with total sales. So I'll just change it from total sales to profit margin. And I'll use a blue one to a orange one. And let's see. So this one is definitely, if I can place the profit margin and tooltips, then it will be much more easy. Yes. So as far as the amount of sales is concerned, and as far as the profit margin is concerned, 26 is good. Product 26 is good. This one is also good. 25, product 25, but product 14 is not good amongst the 5. So it is giving a margin of 34, which is definitely less than 37.5, which is less than 37 as well. So this is, although it is giving you the amount of sale is good, but the margin is not good if you compare all the 5 elements with each other. So it's just a cross comparison, and you can do certain other comparisons as well. So I will do this kind of comparison over here. So I'll just make it much more sleek. This margin, let's top center. I think this one is good. Don't use this one because we have this one as well. Don't use the legend. And let's have this one darker, and the other thing which is there, title, we don't need the title, but what we need is, I think this is darker is good. but we don't need the title as well. Yes, and this is 5 million formula. I think this, we don't need this as well. It is giving us the figures 5 million to 3.6 million. We don't need the x-axis as well. We need the title, and let's make the title top 5 products, sales versus profit percentage, right? And let's make them background. Yes, good. So that's good. So this is top 5 products, and we can make the same analogy. So I'll just copy this, Control C and Control V. Yes, so I will do the same analysis, not with products, but with other elements. For instance, I can do it with salesperson. So let me just go over here and do it with salesperson. So I'll just go over here, and product name, we don't need product name. We don't need product name over here, but we need salesperson. So I'll just go with the salesperson over here. It is not top five salesperson. So this is salesperson. I will do a top 5 analysis, and over here I will place salesperson, right? And click on apply. Good. And let me just check whether this is correct or not. Data labels, formula, and this is with profit margin. Yeah, good. So now this is interesting. Our top selling person, which is doing good as far as sales amount is concerned, they're not generating the profit margin amongst the top 5. It is not the highest one. It is 36. Here it is 37, but here it is 38, and this is 39.3. So the fifth person, which is fourth and fifth, no, the last one is, which is the fifth one, is generating high profit. So it is generating high profit as far as the profit percentage is concerned. But as far as the amount of sale is concerned, it is at the fifth level. But definitely, this comparison gets much more interesting once you go for another things, if you have another dimensions placed to this one. So I will do the same working with the last year as well. So I will go over here and I will do the last year analysis as well. So let's turn on the legends for this one, and let's turn on the legends for this one as well to make it, yes, this one, legends. So let's turn on the legend for this one, and we have some space, so let's turn on the legends for this one as well. So I will turn on the legend, and I will turn on the legends as well. So this is the current year top product, top 5 product, and this is top 5 salesperson. So I'll just change the name, top 5 salesperson, right? So top 5 salesperson. And now this is also top 5, and let's do the top 5 sales last year with profit margin last year, right? So sales last year with profit margin last year. So we'll change certain elements. For instance, this is total sales at profit margin. So we'll change it to sales last year and profit margin last year. And over here, definitely we'll have to change it. So it is with total sales. We'll change it to sales last year and then do the analysis. Apply the changes. And let's go over here, and in the filters, we'll have to see it is profit margin. So we'll go for profit margin last year, and then we'll have the analysis. Now in last year, this product 26 it was a win-win situation as far as amount and profit margin is concerned. But over here, this product 25 is very good for last year. As far as amount, as far as profit margin is concerned, not the amount. For amount, product 26 is good. But product 5 is not bad, but product 14 was on the less one. So here we don't have the product 14, we have the product 13, and here the product 5 is at a lower margin. So this is how you can do certain analysis. So this is for top 5 products, sale last year versus profit last year. So I will go for salesperson as well. So I'll just click over here and I'll go for salesperson. Salesperson are there. So we will use sales last year and profit margin last year over here. In salesperson, let me just see, this is, I'll analyze it with sales last year, filter it. Yes, and in the conditional formatting, let's see, this is profit margin. So I'll use profit margin last year, right? So now only one person, Brian, has sales last year, good, profit margin 41. Apart from that, definitely no one is at the same league. So this is different. So I'll just click over here, and one thing which I have changed, it is the name. Top 5 salesperson, and by using salesperson, this is sales last year versus profit margin last year, right? So sales last year versus profit margin last year. And at the end, we have one place left, so we can use, and we can make an effective use of this one by having a detailed table. So let me just make it at the top, and let's add some shades over here, because shades are very good. So let's add some shades over here. It gives you your work certain apart. So I will use certain shades over here. So this is one technique of visualization. So they will be, all of them will become separate. So now you can see that all the visuals are separate, and you can see that there are certain different visuals. So I'll just make this one as well in shadows. Yes, got. So we can add one more element into it, which is, let's add a table. Let's add a table over here, and let's add certain figures over here. For instance, we can add product name, and let's see our total sales last year, and we can add how much is the growth, year-on-year growth, as far as our products are concerned. So we can add that one as well. So for that one, we'll have to first do the calculation of sales growth last year. So for sales growth last year, we'll simply do a calculation of subtracting the last year's sale with the total this year's sales. So sales growth as compared to last year, sales growth. So I will go for, this is total sales this month, this year, and I want to subtract the sales last year from it. So if our sales are higher, so we have a positive growth. If our sales are less, we have a negative growth. So this is sales growth. So now we can have the year-on-year analysis by using the sales growth amount. So let's have the year-on-year analysis. So I will have the, yes, so sales, I will go for, yeah, over here, sales year on year percentage, and let's do it. Let's divide the sales growth with the total sales this year. So this is sales growth, and we can add this sales growth in the table over here, and let's see whether our sales have grown. So this year sales have increased by 8%. So let's make this one in percentage. Yes, and yes, good. So there may be a percentage which is good, and there may be a percentage which is not good. So let's make this one. I'll just make a small space over here. So let's make few space over here, this one, and let's make a space over here right now. Yes, we are good to go. Okay, we don't need the totals, so let's delete the totals. Yeah, we don't need totals. That's good. Now we have this. So let's separate this apart, and let's separate this apart as well. Okay, good. So now we can add one more thing, some conditional formatting to see. So for product one, it is good. So this is negative. So let's add conditional formatting over here. For instance, I'll go for conditional formatting. Background, no, I'll just make, let's show an icon over here. So icon is good. As far as percentage is good. So this is, let's show icons. So you can see that this is good. This is negative. This is minus 57%. So that's not good. As far as certain elements of, so we can analyze it in a positive manner, 31, and we can analyze it in negative manner as well. So sales growth. And as far as amount is concerned, we can see. So let's add the working over here as well for the amount. So let's start with the lighter one, this one. So higher amount doesn't mean the sales has grown. I will go in this one as well. So I think it will be same. Let's add lighter one over here, and this one is orange. Okay. So as far as sales growth is concerned, the amounts are good. Amounts are not high, but sales growth is 31%. As far as 2016 is concerned. So here it is, the amount is high, but it is a negative. So here the amount is definitely, it has reduced along the way. So you can have different way of analyzing various elements. So I'll just make this one much more different. I think I'll use the same one. Background is darker. This one is light brown is good. And as far as these are concerned, so let's keep it here, and let's add the shadows. So we can have the working our hand. So as far as our basic time intelligence analysis is concerned, we are done with the analysis, but it gives you a flexibility. I've used just one type of analysis, which is the last year analysis, and I've used it in, say, in a card, in a line chart, to see some trends over a period of time. I've used in top 5 analysis. I've used in a table as well, and they are, and it's just a basic time intelligence analysis. There are amazing time intelligence analysis which I've discussed in the session before, earlier, that year-to-date analysis is there. Then there is certain other analysis which you can do. So do check out those analysis, and definitely do conduct them, and you will find some amazing things, which are amazing insights from your data. So this was kind of a working which we have for this webinar. So let's move to the next part, which is the way forward. So we tend to have some a series of free webinars. So this is a 10th webinar, and we tend to do this webinar in regularly to all the professionals which are watching our working, and we tend to share the database file, the Power BI file, the PPT files to all the professionals who are willing to learn free of cost. So you can just email us and we can distribute you. If you want to have a very constructive training program, so we tend to offer certain other training programs, workshops as well. So there are Power BI for finance professionals. So we tend to teach finance professionals some basics of Power BI. So there are advanced financial reporting and analysis, advanced budgeting, advanced working capital. There's a top C-level analysis as well for management corporate analysis. Then there is another part which is the storytelling for data in Power BI for finance professionals. So there are quite a number of analysis and quite a number of workshops which we tend to do and conduct in quite a number of last few years we have conducted those workshops. So we have our email ID given to you, and our WhatsApp as well is given to you. So do check out the webinar series if you want to just you want to be a part of our learning program. So do just email us or contact us through WhatsApp, and let's start your journey in Power BI. So thank you all. You can connect to us through various social media, LinkedIn, email, or Facebook. And thank you for your participation. And let's meet on the next webinar. Thank you. Bye from now.